Okay, everybody, we're back. We're finally going to do the review video everybody's been waiting for. As you know, if you watched the last one, the car was at the shop for 47 days and they did not touch it, so it is still broke. I sent a shipping company after it. When it come back, I put an axle in it. The car does still need head studs and head gasket done, so hopefully we'll be doing that soon. Had to get some help for the camera today. That's Benjamin. He has a Mustang as well, Eco Poop. Kind of broken. And for the ones that didn't know, I bought a 2011 ZX-10R. The throttle's stuck on it and I couldn't stop it in time. Also, I had to have something to drive, so I bought back my old Cobalt SS. So hopefully in the meantime, while the Mustang's getting fixed, I can get some videos for you with it. It's really fun. 363 wheel, 389 torque. Okay, so let's get started on the review. Okay, so as everybody knows, it does have the LPF kit on it. So the turbos are down underneath your feet. You really can't see them. That's kind of the point. Everything's supposed to be hid. And that's what we try to do with everything on the car. So if you come under here, let me rephrase. Right here, everything looks stock. When you take that off, you see your return style system for your E85 and fuel feed line. It has ID 1050X injectors in it. Everything in the motor is untouched. It's got stock bottom end, stock cams, stock heads, all that, stock valve train. You can also see the engine cover hides the two-step for the MSD. And that's another reason I kind of like leave it on there. I don't want everybody to be able to see everything. It does have the transmission built. When we done the transmission, we did add a dipstick because they do not come with them. The dipstick is all the way down at the trans, and it's just so much easier up here. We do have an oil catch can. I tried to blend that in as much as possible. This one, not so much. I don't really recommend it. We're going to redo that just to make something look cleaner. Blow-off valve's kind of hid. You really don't realize it unless you're looking for it. The Turbo Smart boost solenoid. Well, I could not find anywhere really to put it. So it is just kind of laying here right now, and it's got stuff underneath it so it doesn't rub. But there's really nothing I can do about that at the moment. We are going to try to build something around it where you can't see all this. And the fuel pressure regulator, if you look down, come all the way over here, it's underneath the ABS module. So you would never know it had the fuel system on it unless you were like really looking. And that's what we try to do. We try to go sleeper on everything on it. So if you come back here and you look, it's just really an ordinary 5.0, it looks like, with cold air intake. I left the 50th anniversary grill. I do like that, but I did have to remove the bottom grill for more airflow. So you can see the intercoolers there. Now, Ben, back up. Now, if you back up and you are from a distance, you really can't notice it that noticeable, especially up here, but if you get down, you can. Now, I forgot to mention earlier, this intercooler is not the one that comes with the LPF kit. It is a Hellion intercooler. The LPF intercooler I had really bad IAT climbs, and I'm apparently the only person that's had that issue with them. A lot of people have run them and don't have that problem, but mine was very bad. The IATs would climb faster than the damn RPMs. It was horrible. So this is underneath the car. The charge pipe comes down. It comes around like this. It's a pretty nifty little design, and the turbos are oilless. So here is where you oil the turbos. And it's very simple. It takes literally like 5 minutes. Just throw it off on ramps, put a grease gun on it. You do 2 pumps every oil change, so like every 3,000 miles. Ignore my 18 zip ties right here on my heat wrap for my trans line. You know, I'm OCD a little bit. It does have a deep pan for the transmission. It's not required. You don't have to do it. Most people don't, but I did it. It does have Turbo Smart wastegates that come with the kit. Now, most people have them open dump right here. I don't want that. I was loud and I hated it under full throttle. So mine we welded and made a pipe. And follow me, we came back in. And it comes right before the muffler. And there is the MagnaFlow single in, or dual in, dual out muffler, and it is straight through. You can see through it. It doesn't really restrict flow, but it just makes it sound very good and deep. And it does have the DSS carbon fiber drive shaft. Now, a lot of people say that they come apart and they break, but from what I've seen, it's only when you have wheel hop. And for some reason, I'm very lucky and this car does not have any wheel hop. It either hooks or it blows the tires off. Now, that being said, I do have vibration around 55 maybe miles an hour with that drive shaft, but it's very, very minute. But I probably will go switch to an aluminum just for that, because I am so picky and I want it to be completely smooth. Exhaust wise, we have the dumps, I'll show you up there when we moved front earlier, that are back into the exhaust before the muffler. We have a single MagnaFlow muffler, dual in, dual out, with muffler deletes back here. And it sounds very, very good. I love it. It's deep, it's not raspy, it's not too loud, it just sounds good. I did have an external transcooler back here, and that's what these are from. But you know, trial and error, and I had to learn it actually does no difference than the factory transcooler. The factory transcooler are just fine on these cars. Bushings, everything, as you can see, the suspension, the shocks, everything is stock on this car. I had someone argue with me that it does not cut a fucking 1.4 60 foot on stock suspension, but it does. Rear end stock, it does have 315s in it. I am considering changing those, however. I even got added weight from all the rubber. Look at that. That's crazy. Oh, and somehow these are still good. Look at that. These are what I ended up racing Mike on the McLaren. Now moving on, you can't really tell, but those are 305s, and some of y'all are probably wondering how I had that done with stock wheels, because they are 8.5 inch wide factory. I sent them off and had them widened at Weldcraft wheels, and they were about $250 a piece to have done, but they are widened to 10.5 inch wide now. Now I don't know how good you guys can tell, but there's the welds where they added the extra metal in this to make it 10.5 inch wide. Trying to get you a good view, but it's really, really hard. Moving on interior wise, everything I tried to hide. Now let me show you my little Fast and Furious 99-cent switch for the two-step. It is right in here. Yes, so you are official. If you have one of these, you got to be fast. That's just how it works. Could not try to decide where I wanted to put my Turbo Smart, so it is right there. I did get gray and white, so it kind of blends in. Pretty clean setup in my opinion. Before that, I did have a boost leash, boost controller. I did not like it as much. I really, really like the e-boost. It's pretty easy to use. Just to kind of show you what it looks like lit up. Here's the boost controller. Obviously had to put the car on the background. As far as drivability, honestly, the car drives stock except for the converter, really. If you drive it normal, you don't notice it. It shifts just fine. It locks really early. But if you drive spiritedly, it will go to about 4,500 before it shifts, depending on your throttle position. Once it gets to third gear, though, it completely locks and it drives like normal. You really would never know this car had so much power until you go down on the gas. Of course, the fuel pumps are back there underneath the helmet. It does have it. Let me rephrase. I started off with the Silene kit, and I have a lot of friends that have had really good luck with the Silene kit. However, on my car, it was not keeping up in the higher RPM and higher horsepower range. So I ended up going with two Walbro 450 or 465s. I'm sorry, and a Division X hat from Lethal Performance, and a new feed line, obviously. Now, one of the things I really didn't like is I don't have no more spare tire. There's my wiring and all for my fuel system, but it works, so I don't complain about it. However, when I travel, I do let the back seats down, and both my radials and wheels do fit. As you know, because that's what I did when I went to race Mike and I went to the call out. All right, so that's pretty much the review of it. So now you guys know how the Mustang is set up and what it looks like. I went through it really fast, mainly because we are almost out of daylight and we had to do this kind of fast. If y'all know, we had a hurricane hit here. It was category 3 when it hit, and it done a lot of damage. We were out of power most this week, so that's why it's so delayed. But I told you to get out this week, so I'm going to do my damnedest to have it out to you tonight. Moving on, I will be at the call out coming up this month, next week actually, but I will not be bringing the Mustang. I'm sorry, I'll be spectating. I will also make you guys a list at the end of this video of everything I have. People want to know the price, what you can do it for. You can do this same exact thing that I have in your car running just like mine. You can actually do that with about 15K in mods. However, you know, trial and error, I've done stuff like I told you, the external transcooler I didn't even know that I didn't need, and a lot of other crap, like I went to the boost leash, boost controller, and then ended up swapping to the Turbo Smart. I got over 20 grand in mine, probably about 21 or so, but yes, you can do it a lot cheaper. Transmission, real quick, I forgot to tell you while I was under there. What it's done to it, the intermediate shaft snapped when it went from 3rd to 4th right after the turbo kit went on it. So we have a billet intermediate shaft and the XCD clutches in it, and it does, I went ahead and put a torque converter from Circle D in it. Now for the bad news. Unless we get some races or something going on with this thing, we will not have no videos coming up for a few months. My tuner, Lund, has referred me to a shop that supposedly is very, very good. I've never dealt with them, but we're going to find out. However, they said the motor will take about 2 months in the machine shop, and I should be dropping it off with them in a couple weeks. So it will be a few months before any more videos of the Mustang are out. Now, with that being said, if you guys want to see more of the Cobalt or you want me to do some races with it, just let me know in the comments or on my Instagram, which is the same as my YouTube, 334MRL. If you scroll down to older videos, which they are cell phones, they're not great quality, but you can tell, there are some of this car racing, and I raced 2 450 wheel horsepower Evos, and even with the Cobalt E85 mixture off and engine power reduced, they couldn't beat it, which is pretty sad in my opinion. However, when it does come back, it will be a sleeve block and better internals, and we should be able to safely go up to 35 PSI. The fastest you guys have seen me run it on so far is 15.2, and on 15.2 pounds, it did run a 9.4 in the quarter. And that's it. That concludes the video for today. Just follow me on Instagram, or I will try to update you guys on YouTube as well, as much as I can. It's going to be very, very sad to see her gone for so long, but it'll be worth it when she comes back.